Hello everyone, Fru here. Welcome to today's relevant read. So guys, in today's read, and I'm going to zoom in here for a second, we're going to talk about how you dress at work is way more important than you think. So how you dress at work is way more important than you think. This is an article from Inc.com, and I felt it was a relevant read. I want to share it for us today, have a brief discussion about it, so you can go out and check the link for yourself. So the link to this article will be in the description. And guys, you know, on this channel we talk about technology tips, career advice, and some inspiration. And you know, making a solid career, it's not just about what you know, it's not just about the technology, right? It goes into the entire package. And how you dress is a package that you project to the world, and that can have a very, very important or monumental impact to your work than you think, right? There are people that, you know, go for job interviews and they don't get it because of how they dressed, right? The people that get fired or don't or get passed from the promotion because of how they dress. So this is something that we cannot ignore. I know on this channel we can talk about technology all day long. What is the tech trends? What are the programming languages you should learn? Architecture, big data, data science, and things like that, guys. But at the end of the day, to have a successful career, you really want to look at the entire package, and that's why this particular article was very, very relevant. So check it in the description below, read it for yourself, and I think that there's just a lot of nuggets we can pick out from here. I wouldn't go through to read every single thing in this article. I'll highlight a few things, and then I'll, you know, of course, expect you guys to go in and to read the entire article. But one other thing that I saw in my research as I was preparing for this is this image from this blog. You can see it on, if you search on Google, you can see it, and it shows the evolution of Steve Jobs. We know the great Steve Jobs, one of the icons in technology with Apple, and you can see how in 1998 he dressed all the way to around 2000. All right, and he's known for this look, right? A pair of jeans and the black long neck hoodie or whatever this is, polo. I can't even tell what this is, what the right name for that is. Very, very casual. So it's not surprised that people might look at this and say, if Steve Jobs can dress like this, right, and he was a very, very successful individual, maybe, just maybe, if I dress like this, I might be successful too, right? And that could be the thinking, right? And if that's your thinking, I want to say you're probably very, very wrong, because you're not Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs earned his way to dressing like this, right? Steve Jobs earned his way. I'm sure by the time you started seeing Steve Jobs dressing like this, he was really a billionaire or multi-billionaire, right? 1998, right? Think about when he founded Apple. So just looking at images like this can be very, very misleading, especially in technology or the Silicon Valley mindset. All right, there's even another one I wanted to show for us today, and I just did this search on Google. Just bear with me. It's another article that I came across, and I'll bring this on the screen. And this is another, you know, very successful, I would say, tech billionaire, Facebook founder, Mark Zuckerberg, right? See how he dresses. Again, it seems like it's a uniform for these guys. All right, you have a pair of jeans, a t-shirt, and that's about it. And the t-shirt is the same color, right? The pair of jeans is almost the same color, right? It's almost the same color. So you're asking yourself, but if I still Steve Jobs, if I see Steve Jobs dressing like this, the same shirt and the same trousers, just once in a while he had a different pair of sneakers there, and I can see Mark Zuckerberg dressing like this, just maybe if I start dressing like this, I'll be successful too, right? Probably not, right? Because these guys are on a whole different level, right? These guys are on a whole different level. So, and you have to earn your way to this. Just because Mark Zuckerberg dresses like this doesn't give everybody the right to dress like this, and that's my belief. And I think that this article reinforces that, and that's why I'm sharing it as a relevant read. It starts here with a quote. There is a common perception among management that if you can't handle small things, you probably aren't well suited to handle larger responsibilities. Dressing is a small thing. If you cannot dress well, you cannot groom yourself properly, which should be a small thing that you can do in the morning, regardless of what you do in IT, regardless of what you do in technology or in your career. How can you be trusted with the larger things to make large decisions and handle, critical functions within the organization? Again, I know people would say, but dressing really doesn't have anything to do. Guys, we can argue all day, but the reality is that it has an impact. It does have an impact. And if you go into this article, let's see, one of the most powerful and impactful bits of career advice that I ever received is the practice of treating every day at work as if it's a job interview. And I love this, right? The practice of treating every day at work as a job interview. Always. And I've made a lot of videos about this. Every single day you go into your current job and your current position, no matter how much you like it, no matter how long you've been there, you're always preparing for that next role, that promotion that's come, or that next interview, or the next company you're going to be going to. Because when you look back in retrospect, there are going to be people giving you references, there are going to be people talking about you, vouching for you, right? And if you don't treat it as a preparation for or don't look at it as a job interview, you can get too casual, right? Let's say you're going for a job interview. No one wakes up with pajamas and sweatpants with flip-flops and go into a job interview. Very few people will afford to do something like that. All right, people usually tend to dress more formal. They put a little bit more thought into it when going for a job interview. And if you treat every single day at work as if it's a job interview, it means every single day before leaving your house, you've put some thought into how you dress. Guys, you cannot afford to wing this, right? I know a lot of people don't talk about this when it comes to technology, but it's a very important topic if you really want to be successful with your career. And that's why I'm taking the pain, or that's why when I came across this article, it's an answer by Benny Kleiner, I found it very, very relevant to talk about, right? Very, very, very relevant. And there's another thing I wanted to share in this article, and it talks about, you dress for the role you want and not for the role you have. I think he puts it, or he or she puts it in this article in a different way. So if you dress more like the peer group you aspire to and less like the one you're in, you're sending a powerful signal that you belong in that group. All right. So if your goal is to go up to management, say you're doing engineering now, and your goal is to become a lead or go up to management, a director or a VP, you want to dress like that. You want to start projecting that in your attire, in the way you carry yourself, in your mannerism, right? And it shows that you belong to that group, and people can start seeing you in that role, because they have to see you in the role before you even get that role. And if they cannot even see you, then you won't even get it. In my career, I've met or worked with a lot of people that are just brilliant. These are people that are smart to the teeth. All right, but there's no way that individual will be promoted to a manager. And I'm not saying this to be condescending. I'm just saying this to be real. And I saw it. They never were promoted. I don't know if that was the aspiration, but they just never were promoted. And why was that? Because they didn't carry themselves as such. They just did not. Casual, and they don't look managerial. They don't look like manager material. And it's the reason why you see, even in politics, in the presidential elections, a candidate comes up and people say, well, he doesn't look presidential, or she doesn't look presidential. What do you mean by that? Right? Part of it will go into just how they carry themselves, how they dress. I know it's easy to break the mold and do Steve Jobs or do Mark Zuckerberg, sure, but these guys are on a whole different level, right? You cannot copy Mark Zuckerberg the way he is now, with billions of dollars, tens of billions of dollars in his bank account. I bet you if you saw Mark Zuckerberg when he was still from just at the beginning of Facebook and trying to get important meetings to get the company going, he wasn't dressing like this. I would imagine he was a little bit more formal. All right, so you want to take advice. You want to take advice from the person where they are, how they were, where you are, not how they are right now. I don't know if that comes out correctly. All right, and you can go ahead and read this article. It's a little bit of a deep article, and you can see some examples of how it talks about CIOs. And today companies have casual Fridays, and they expect you to just dress casually, right? I always say casual Friday doesn't mean that you go crazy and just be all casual, right? There are still restrictions around that. There are still limitations, especially if your ambitions are a little bit different. All right, and he goes into some tips here about polo shirts and how to match that with jeans, and you can go in and read the rest. But guys, dressing is something very, very important. I don't think a lot of people really talk about this. I want to share an individual that when it comes to dressing, you might want to check him out and follow his content. And this is called Real Men Real Style. I don't know if it's just for men. I'm sure there is probably some for women somewhere. But he talks about grooming and how that can really affect how you can use style as a man to, you know, achieve your goals, to live a better life, increase your career and such. Again, this is things that people don't talk a lot about, but because my channel is very holistic, right? We talk about career tips, technology, advice, and some inspiration. We cannot look at life in one silo, right? We cannot just say just learn technology and that's it. Because if you learn the technology and you're not properly groomed, you will not get a job. And even if you get a job, you're not positioning yourself for success. And so this you know, blog, Real Men Real Style, I would recommend it. And he has an amazing YouTube channel with a lot of content there. You can check it out. It really just goes into style and into grooming and such, right? This is for men, but I'm sure there is something for women. All right, guys. So, you know, how you dress speaks volumes, and we cannot afford to ignore that. Just to recap, right? How you dress at work is way more important than you think. You cannot afford to wing that. Like I said, the link to this article will be in the description. Please check it out, share it with somebody, and I hope this helps you in your career. Okay, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next relevant read.